watch a trophy fly. Targets downrange, bullseye hit. Guns don't kill, our spirits lit. Fire, lock and load, let them roar. Shoot straight, Second Amendment score. Hunt, shoot, rock forever free. Amendment, eternity.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? JD here, 701 Nation, episode 6. Brian Warner, what's up, my fellow MVE? Boom Country evening to you as well. Dan Hager TV, hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing after your surgery? Weaning myself up. I never did take any of the hydrocodone, I think they prescribed. I just was on ibuprofen and Advil, and took my last dose of pain meds about noon, so I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of hurting. I don't know how long I'm gonna make it. We'll see what happens. Pretty bruised up, got 3 holes punched in the side of me here, and they went in with the robot arms and the camera and put the screen in, sewed up the hole. Big wad of, looked like, it was just like fat coming out of like a quarter size hole there, probably maybe a nickel. I think they trimmed that off, sewed that up, put the screen on, and yeah, I'm starting to get bruised, but it's something, whatever they gave me. My nose is running. I apologize if I got to take care of my nose a couple of times. It's kind of been running, but yeah, doing better than I thought, actually, to be honest with you. Good to be on. Good to be doing the show here. Feeling good. 18 wheels and dozen 6-shooters. Good evening, y'all. How did the surgery go? Yeah, I was just giving you a little update. He did say the surgery went as planned. No complications or none of that. Yeah, hour and a half. I think it took an hour and a half schedule. I was out of CHI there, or St. A's, at probably, I don't know, 120 or something like that. Better pour a whiskey to kill the pain, says Josh Patterson. Yeah, Josh, I got a little rum diggity right here. It tastes pretty good. In a couple of days when I wasn't sipping on it. Just kidding. Appreciate everybody asking about that. See, they changed the format on here a little bit. Kind of cool. I can't, looks like if everything's working good, or if something's not working like you guys are used to, let me know. If you're new to the show, I did pick up, appreciate everybody this last week on Facebook page. Picked up, I think 11 or 12 new subs and couple on YouTube, which is good. Some people, what the hell is that? Just a small freaking Nodak boy. I'm not trying to be national or nothing, but it's nice to get those subs. I appreciate you. What we do on the show is, if you're watching, got some topics here. I'll let you know what they are. Most of the time I just kind of read and go through them and then break it down on that and my commentary on it. And of course, all you guys in the chat. Looks good, says Dan. Thank you. We can still call you sir, right? Yeah, they didn't cut that low, 18 wheels. They didn't cut that low. Oh, you know what? I'm sure they had to have a peak down there, so I don't know what their opinion of it is. But yeah, I got all my parts except for maybe a little fat they trimmed off through the hole there. But we're good to go, man. We're good to go. Hopefully everything keeps going smooth. Like I said, bruised up and pretty swelled in the stomach area. But yeah, 6-inch screen there. Let's do it. So they're hanging. How they hanging, brother? Says Leon. They're hanging, man. Hanging just as usual. I've been hanging out at home I'm going back to work tomorrow, but 3 days sitting around. Not too bad, actually. I kind of kept busy. I'm not supposed to lift over 15 pounds for, 2 weeks or something. So that's fine. That's fine. In about 6 weeks, I can get back to working out again if everything goes as planned. So hopefully I don't gain too many lbs before then. If your nose runs and your feet smell, you're built backwards. Feet don't smell much, so I got that going for me. But I'll tell you what, here's what we got going tonight. Target Sports USA unveils its ammo vending machine. I got a picture of that I'll put up here too. I know there's been talk of that. They finally unveiled what they are and how they work. Democrat mayor says gun owners should be ashamed to own firearms. Yeah. And this guy, he tried to backpedal it somewhat, but you'll see. That'll probably be the longest one of the night there. Federal Ammo introduces a new Subsonic ammo line. I'm usually not a fan of Subsonics. Good evening, Justin. Thanks for clicking in, buddy. Um, because of the lack of expansion and energy they put on target when they slow them down. But federal did a little something here. I might be interested. Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch, Neil Gorsuch, would the founding fathers be disarmed as habitual drunkards? Because there's the case in there. I got the thing like Hamini or something like that. USA versus Hamini. They want to, take away a Second Amendment rights because he smokes marijuana, and part of the thing with the Gun Control Act was habitual drug users. And Gorsuch makes a good point here, which caught my eye because I drink. I don't get out of hand with it, but I like to drink, and I like the feds sound like they want to make it illegal for me to own guns. And then, of course, the happy ending hootenanny. That's going to come to us from South Dakota, actually, today. Rapid City, I think it is. So we got one up here in the Dakotas. I don't know if you caught it Saturday. I was on with my buddy Scott Bachmeyer, Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Had a pretty decent show with Scott. I was up in mine. I had to do it from the car, actually. A kid had a volleyball tournament. But yeah, I had a good show with Scott. If you missed that, you can I got the link, I think, on my 701 Nation JD Facebook page. And you can check it out, Scott, Dakota Prairie Outdoors on YouTube, and check it out if you want. And then went up, did an ammo test, actually, on Sunday. Went up to the farm. This is my dad. Axe had some of that S&B. Good evening, Dan Brown, out there on the western edge. Thanks for jumping on, buddy. Appreciate that. Did that S&B ammo test. I got that up, too, on my YouTube channel and the Facebook page. Worked really good in one of the guns that worked really good. Didn't have any jams or nothing, but in my this 701 rifle right behind me here, worked under an inch, 4-shot group, velocity out of that 16-incher, just over 3,000 feet per second in that. And I shot at a longer range with that. And then also did it in my Ruger Predator 22-inch barrel. I was really fast. I think that averaged just over 3,222 feet per second. I think not as accurate in that though. That was like an inch and a half, but whatever, man. If we're shooting soft points at about 50 cents a round out of an AR, that's good, man. I'm gonna proof test it again at Axes on Sunday. We're actually gonna do Axe and I are gonna do a test if everything goes as planned. We've always shot water jugs for like catch the bullet and penetration and gel blocks. So we thought last time when I shot the 6.5 Creed, we're gonna set up the Axe is gonna have the gel block set up, and then I'm gonna bring out a bunch of water jugs. We're gonna see if the penetration is comparable to water and the 10%. I think it's 10% gelatin he uses, maybe a little more. But yeah, we're gonna see which one penetrates more, or if it's about the same. Which it's good to see. I'm good with seeing that, because I was always curious what worked better, because you can save a lot of money shooting it through shooting it through jugs. I mean, obviously we're not going to be able to put the tape up there and do that sort of thing, get it exact, but we'll get it close. And God, I think it's supposed to 65 or something on Sunday here. We're going to do it Sunday morning. The wind's supposed to blow to like 16, but we'll get it before then. So Leon Francis says 15 pounds. I lift more than that on my bathroom breaks. Yeah, repeatedly, Leon's lifting 15 pounds. That's probably a fact. I mean, I hear that a lot, mostly from Leon, but I hear it. All right, let's get the topics going here. Again, episode 6, 701 Nation. Appreciate everybody jumping on here. We're going to hit on this Target Sports USA recently unveiled its newest innovation, state-of-the-art ammunition vending machine. Pretty sweet. Oh, speaking of that, let's get this thing up here. Graphics. This is a picture I got from their website there. Looks like it's got a big-ass touch screen on it, right? Tap to begin. American flag there, some ammo on it, and it looks pretty cool. I'll leave it up there when we're doing the story here. This vending machine was on display at the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania recently. Yeah, and that's kind of like a SHOT Show, but a lot more outdoor stuff. There are plenty of guns, NRAs there, and all these other gun organizations. It looks pretty cool. I think it might actually be the biggest one. I'm pretty sure it's even bigger than Shot. I could be wrong. If one of you guys knows that, I know we got some FFL guys listening. Let me know. This next generation vending machine is designed to provide customers with a secure and efficient way to purchase ammo at the ready. It's engineered with age verification technology, secure payment processing, and is kept to federal, state, and local guidelines. Built for placement in any approved environment, this vending machine provides a seamless purchase experience. Yeah, I'd be down with that. I mean, that's cool. You can put that, well, what about some hoodlums get it? I don't know. Hoodlums get ammunition no matter what, anyway. So, some features of the deal on here, they got secure ID verification technology, integrated payment processing, real time inventory tracking, controlled dispensing system, compliance focused transaction safeguards, whatever that is. I mean, it's just some technical speak shit that I don't get. The vending machine introduction aligns closely with Target Sport USA's goals of leading in customer-centric innovation within the industry. From the exclusive Ammo Plus membership offerings, providing everyday great value for regular shooters. So I don't know. Do you got to be a member then, maybe from the exclusive Ammo Plus? I don't know about that. They didn't say that in here. To the expansion of their ammo, maybe I don't think it is. To the expansion of their ammo brand, New Republic USA. Never heard of it. Looks like a future test coming up with that. I'd love to do that. The company continues to invest in new retail solutions to meet customers where they are. So yeah, and of course, the one place they won't be deployed in there is New York, as current laws do not allow for the required background check procedure to be conducted through this format. So yeah, ammo vending machine, pretty sweet, right? I think I don't know if I did or Clay or somebody did a story about these earlier. Clay might have did it when it first came out when they were talking about it on. Let me get these chats back up on Todd Mitchell show, maybe. Oh yeah, I was on with Todd. I was on with Todd Friday too. Had a good time with Todd per usual. Talked to Michael Bell on there, and when he come in the studio for a little bit. But yeah, good thing. Thanks to Clay for asking me on there. Had a good time, man. A good time with him. Good time with Scott, and having a good time tonight as well. All right, so I told you about this mayor who said gun owners should be ashamed, or what was the word he used here? Yeah, should be ashamed to own a firearm. This man. Well, let's get into who this bozo is. So the political waters are boiling around this cat. Got this from Liberty Press. This article. This Democrats mayor, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Ammo vending machines. What a great idea, says Gene Cox. Yeah, I think it is, Gene. I think it's a great idea. You're in a hurry or forgot your ammo, you're going to the range or something, or you're going somewhere and you don't think you got enough ammo for self-defense or whatever you want to do, swing in, or hey, who knows? See what the prices are. They might be competitive. I mean, I'd guess they're going to be a little more, but they probably they'll get me on some impulse. Impulse buys. You pull out the billfold. Got an extra freaking 20 in here. Let's do it. So yeah, during a meeting Monday evening, he had that gun owners should be ashamed to own a firearm. His comments, captured on video, warped across social media. So this guy's name, Mayor David LeGrand, initially ducked for cover, telling Liberty Park Press through a spokesman that he respectfully declined to be interviewed. He subsequently issued a statement to clarify his comments. However, in his 197-word statement reads almost like a plea for sympathy and an attempt to deflect the controversy. Yeah, which you'll find out. Which you'll find out. And like I said, this is it's not a super long deal, but it's going to be the longest one we do tonight. His initial remarks ignited a political firestorm in a state that has more than 500,000 deer hunters and 84,000 active concealed pistol licenses. Okay, I get that, but most deer hunters I know are pro Second Amendment, but don't ever confuse hunters with being pro Second Amendment, because there's a lot of FUDs in the hunting community. I've met plenty of them for sure. Okay, so here's this Legrand talking. Nobody gardens with a gun, right? Nobody changes their tire with a gun, right? I've done both, actually. What here, and listen to this guy. This is ridiculous. What they're for is killing human beings, and so it's really It's really hard. It's really hard for what? Um, my, I mean, guns. They're not made for killing human beings. They're made for a lot of purposes. Um, you know, that's not why I buy mine. I mean, that's part of the reason. For, I guess if you consider killing human beings self-defense, I don't. Is there certain specifics I would have a gun for? Well, you probably think my AR back here, right? Well, that's for killing. That's why you got that. Nah, I actually got that for all around everything, which I pretty much do for everything. Same with my handguns. My handguns are for self-defense. I really haven't bought any guns and said this is strictly for offensive purposes. Um, I mean, I can use them for I can use them for offense, defense, target, for everything. So when I hear this, they're made for killing human beings. But that's what Democrats usually think of them, though, right? That's why they always want to ban these damn things. And this guy's a Dem, if you haven't figured that out. So let's continue on here. I think as a community, we have to start having some shaming around gun possession. I think if you've got a gun, you should be ashamed of yourself. I really do. I'm not ashamed to own guns at all. I'm proud to own firearms. I love it. Um, Guns it makes me happy to shoot guns. It makes me happy to carry my gun. It makes me happy when I'm driving around with my gun. Um, well, you got a mental illness, JD? No, I don't. I like guns. I mean, it's a freedom rod, man. I love it. In almost all the whole globe, you can't go around driving with your gun and doing what you want like you can here in the United States of America. So, uh, yeah, not ashamed at all, man. You're gonna start shaming people around gun. Good freaking luck with that, man. I'm looking forward to more stuff from this guy coming out. So he continues here. Now, I'm sorry, that's going to be the soundbite of the night. He continued, and the NRA is going to be mad at me, but I get that we got a Second Amendment. I get it, but you also should be ashamed of yourself if you smoke. That's not against the law. I think if you own a gun, you should be ashamed of yourself, and you should really do some self-reflection. And I think I just see so much more harm, just like cigarettes. I see so much harm, more harm done than benefit. Dude, I, Clay and I have said this, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, people use their guns at the lowest end of the self-defense, personal defense spectrum, like 200 and some thousand. I think the lowest I seen was like 158,000 or something. I think that was Obama's Justice Department. But I mean, there's numerous studies that prove it's in the if not the high hundreds of thousands, the millions. So people getting killed by that, not even close. And I'm not saying that means they shoot that many people. Just showing your gun most of the time. And I'm not saying just like zipping open your jacket. You see that? I mean, just if you think you're in danger and you do that and people see that, yeah. Dan Haggerty says lots of virtual signaling going on. Yeah, big time, Dan. Just hang on here. Like I said, he's gonna try and reel it back in a little bit. So, yeah. I mean, like you said, he sees so much more harm than benefit because he doesn't know shit about guns. He doesn't care, and he's not going to inform himself. People like us and people who follow the show, they do like that kind of. I mean, we're informed on that. And if you're not, I'm glad you're watching and you're going to get informed. I am not the all high and mighty on it, but I do know a little bit more than the average bear. So, all right. So 2 days later, after at least one firearms journalist and local media pressed the grounds office, he released this statement. I want to clarify my recent remarks regarding gun ownership to ensure my intent and perspective are clearly understood by the community. We must be willing to confront the reality of gun violence in our city, and I hope we can move forward together to find solutions that keep our families safe. As a former prosecutor, that's nice. Sure, the guy was a lawyer, right? Because I'm not saying there's not pro-gun lawyers, but most attorneys, they are anti-gun. That's just a fact. Our governor's a lawyer, but attorney, but he's not anti-gun, which is great. So I saw firsthand that handguns are used disproportionately in the commission of crimes, domestic disputes, and suicides, leading to devastating injuries and the tragic loss of life. Oh, you're wrong there, dude. You probably did see the injuries and aftermath and tragic loss of life, but you didn't even take a second or a minute to go and find how helpful they are for people actually defending themselves and keeping themselves and their family safe. So maybe if Mayor LeGrand's listen at the end of the show, I'll give you an example of it in the happy ending hootenanny. All right, continuing on here. I always love this. I'm fully aware that the Second Amendment and state law limit the policy options available to a municipal leader. I cannot legislate this pain away. Of course you can't. But I mean, you frickin' try anyways. You don't care. You don't give two shits at the Second Amendment's a civil right. You're going to try and pass laws to restrict that right because you're an ignorant prosecutor doesn't look at the whole rounded world that engulfs the Second Amendment right. My goal is to shift our community conversation away from the status quo and towards a serious, honest dialogue and provide an opportunity for all of us to reflect on what truly reasonable gun ownership looks like. Like to a normal person or to an anti-gun zealot like you, Mayor. Um, Reasonable gun ownership. What that means. You need to just lay back and accept every gun law we shove up your ass, and that's reasonable. Um, Lance Peterson, only the negative is publicized. That's right, Lance. You're 100% right. Appreciate you listening, Lance, up there in Mercer County. Yeah, that's all this guy, and that's all this guy probably ever seen, Lance, because all he ever watches is MSNBC or MS Now or whatever the hell it's called, and CNN, and all they usually do is almost all the time talk about the negatives of ownership, and then obviously this guy swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. Local news outlets, WX, whatever they are there in Michigan, both have followed the controversy. Liberty Park Press checked with the Michigan State Police on the number of currently active concealed pistol licenses in the state, learning that there are currently 845,237 approved CPLs. In addition, there are more than 500,000 deer hunters in the state and Michigan this year. And Michigan this year is getting 23,914,000 from the federal Pittman-Robertson Federal Aid to Wildlife Conservation Program, funded by a special excise tax on firearms and ammunition. It's also funded by, the vast majority isn't by that, but by bow hunters are like this from bow hunting gear and for fishing gear. But the vast majority of that comes from guns and ammo. The state's total revenue from fees paid for CPL applications came to $16,460,062, which is above the 5-year average of $12 million and change. So yeah, but this guy likes it when his parks and all that other bullshit gets help with guns and ammo money, right? These people are unbelievable. We got a mayor's race here coming, and our mayor now, I talked to him, and I think I told you guys about that. He did own guns, but he had some real leftist negative. He's going to run again. Marquardt's running for mayor. Steve Marquardt. Steve's 100% pro gun guy. I want to have him on the show to talk about it, and he said he'd be more than happy to come on. So, and my neighbor's running. I think I told you guys that he's running for Burleigh County Commission. I think our county commission is pretty pro-gun, though. I haven't heard them say anything really one way or another. And I know a few people on it that are pro-gun. I'm former Mayor Bakken. Steve's heavy pro-Second Amendment too. So, Axel Hondo trying to sound moderate for re-election. Yeah, I don't know if that sounded moderate. If you tried to back it up a little bit, but that didn't work, man. He just sounded more of a gun-grabbing scumbag to me than anything. Yeah, that's Axe is going out to Axes. I told you at the beginning of the show we're going to do that if everything works out right. So let's see here. Oh yeah, if you see the old Venmo QR code up there, you want to support me or support the show, I would appreciate that greatly. Any donation, I'm very happy to get. And if you can do it on a regular basis, I think you can put it monthly. Hey, appreciate that, because that's how the show is going to run. Like I said before a number of times, unless I get some sponsors for the show, which I'm not actively looking for at this point. Maybe I will, but you must be getting a lot of money from that, JD. I'm not. So I'm on episode 6 doing it. And yeah, I might get the Cash App thing too, but we'll see. For now, we're going to go with that. And man, if anybody helps me out and the show out because you like what I'm doing, that's awesome. I definitely appreciate that more than you know. All right, let's move on to the next here. Federal Subsonics. We're going to talk subs. We're just talking about Axe. Me and Axe, not big fan of Subsonics. Go slow, energy put on target. Bullets don't expand and shit. Well, Federal sounds like they may have found a way to fix the problem here that annoys the shit out of me and my brother, man, Axe. They introduced the new Subsonic ammo line 2026, developed specifically to support the growing use of suppressed firearms. Rather than adapting existing loads, Federal engineered this lineup to deliver consistent performance while remaining below the speed of sound, which I'm not, what is the speed of sound again? Like 1100 or something is one? You think I'd know that, but I don't. So they got these initial, these are just their first ones rolling out, which a couple of them I find weird. And maybe it's just me because I'm not a big subsonic guy. The initial subsonic lineup is 300 blackout, which I get, right? Which I get to 300 black. 308 Winchester, obviously, I mean, super popular, great cartridge. Love the 308. 3030 Winchester. Man, I don't even know anybody who shoots a 3030 with a can on it. I'm not saying they're not cool because lever guns that are suppressed look pretty popular. So I'm not going to suppress mine. I do have a 3030, but I'm not going to. And the 4570, I mean, they do make them bigger cans, and I was wondering why. Maybe there's a lot of 4570 people that shoot suppressed. But anyway, Federal describes this as a launch offering for the subsonic line, with each caliber engineered specifically for subsonic use. Subsonic ammo is designed to avoid the sonic crack created when a freedom seed exceeds the speed of sound. Federal subsonic line focuses on maintaining consistent velocities and predictable performance within that subsonic range. The goal is to maximize the benefits of suppressed shooting, which, I mean, subs are quieter. I mean, that is indisputable. I mean, big time. By pairing controlled velocity with bullet designs tuned specifically for lower speeds. So I watched the video on it, and okay, Justin says the speed of sound is 1,122 feet per second, roughly. All right, thanks, Justin. I did say 1,100, so I was fairly close, right? Isn't that what I said? Appreciate you getting me up to speed on that, though. Yeah, so they are making these bullets. They open up at slower speeds like that. And it's a fusion bullet. If you ever deer hunted with the fusion, pretty good bullet. I mean, I've never found it to be as accurate as even the power shocks, but it was fairly accurate. But it's bonded, so it stays together. And I don't know what they do to make them open up better. But hey, I'm down with that. If you can get a subsonic that does like Axe and I have tried these. They aren't so, that's a whole different story. But I don't know. Shooting subs is nice and quiet, but I'm always like, why don't I just get an air gun if I want to do that? But I mean, if you're strict home defense, well, that doesn't happen. That's that Mayor and Lagrange or in Mayor Lagrange. Yeah. But yeah, if it's like your specific, home defense thing with 300 black or through any of them I mentioned, that'd be perfect. Because inside it's going to be loud as shit when you shoot inside. I mean, if you shot at a gun range with just the wooden canopies over the top in there, man, there's a whump inside of there that, oof, she's loud. So if you did that in your house, this close to, yeah, that would be even like a shotgun. I still haven't been around. I'd love to be around one of these shotguns with a can on it and try that because they're definitely getting more popular. Not that, and shotguns really don't hurt my ears when I'm hunting. So every once in a while, if I'm in the wrong spot, they'll ring a little bit, which, I'd rather that not even happen. I would love to just get a can on a shotty. And Axe has that 410 pump. That'd be pretty sweet. I keep trying to get him to buy one, but he's not biting, man. It's always easy for me to spend somebody else's money, right? All right. Coming up here, 30 minutes, we're going to go to the Supreme Court, which is our man Neil Gorsuch, I believe a Trump appointee, right? And that's one of the big reasons you can't sit on your hands, just because you didn't get what you wanted this fall. So we need that Senate to appoint these judges who are going to, they don't rule in our favor every time, but as a whole, and the majority of the time they do. If you had a Democrat Supreme Court, they would never vote in favor of your gun rights or your First Amendment rights. Justin Latinsky says, I said the other day at Sportsman's that Hornady had a subsonic bullet out in 308. I think it was called the Sub X. Yeah, I think you're right, Justin. I think they did just come out with that. Josh is a buddy of mine. Shot a shotgun with the can on it. He said it was awesome. Oh, see, I love that shit, man. I would, if it's one thing that would, and I'm not a big bird hunter for sure, but I I think having a shotgun that's suppressed is freaking badass. Anyways, it's not what the Second Amendment's not about being badass. Yeah, I mean that's part of it. We talked about this last week, I think, a little bit, but it is the shotgun that's. What was that movie, No Country for Old Men? Right when that guy had the Remington suppressed. That was pretty cool. That thing was massive on there. I mean, shotgun cans are usually bigger, but anyway, let's go to the Supreme Court here. I was talking to you about that earlier. Told you U.S. versus Hamani is what the name of it is. Ali Hamani is this guy's name. And during oral arguments, that's going on as we speak right now. This is right up. Justice Neil Gorsuch addressed the gun ban for, quote, unlawful users of marijuana by juxtaposing it with evidence that some of the founding fathers may be described as habitual drunkards. CBS, I got this off Breitbart, but it was noted by CBS that the statute on which Hamani centers was enacted by Congress in 1968 as part of the Gun Control Act. Democrats controlled Congress back then and the presidency. And forbids an unlawful drug user from having a firearm. A violation of the law is a felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison. Yeah, if you ever notice and you fill out a gun, do you use marijuana? Because even if they make marijuana legal in your state federally, it's still a crime, and you're not supposed to be owning guns, right? Which I don't use marijuana. I don't have a problem with people who do. I mean, the evidence shows that maybe it leads to something else. I'm not going to get into the whole but I mean, I think it's bullshit. I know people who use marijuana and they're perfectly, what would you say? I am not in fear of being around them when they have firearms whatsoever. So Josh says, I think they were shooting trap with it. That's where they would be nice. Yeah, man, I'm there. I think it'd be nice everywhere. Shooting trap, shooting pheasants, home defense, anything. Man, I'm such a suppressor fan. Dan Brown says, I put a few rounds through a suppressed shotgun with subsonic ammo. Very hearing friendly. Awesome, Dan. I'm liking this. See? There you go. Gene Cox. That 1187 for No Country for Old Men is in the National Firearms Museum. Pretty cool looking. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, Gene was just down there, right? Gene, you were just down at, is that where that was in D.C.? He had a bunch of cool pictures of movie guns and that. It was pretty cool. He had the Jaws one there with the Garand too. I made a comment on that. Anyways, let's go. Let's keep going on here with Neil Gorsuch. The defendant, Ali Hamani, was charged under the statute after the FBI found a Glock 9, 60 grams of marijuana, and a small amount of cocaine during I don't know, is that how you say it? I think I got that from Scarface. I don't even know if that's how you say cocaine in Spanish. During a search of his family's home in Texas. During the oral arguments, Gorsuch said, one can ask whether the habitual drunkard statutes are sufficiently analogous. 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 It's a word I don't use very often. I think it means comparable. One could also ask, though, more basically, whether this defendant could qualify as a habitual user. And I want to explore that before we lost track of it. So, yeah, what they're going to try to say is if you're a habitual user, for sure, you're not going to be able. And Gorsuch is going to tie this in right here when I read this about the founders and framers of the United States. Gorsuch then said, as for a habitual drunkard, the American Temperance Society said back in the day, 8 shots of whiskey a day only made you an occasional drunkard. I mean, 8 shots of whiskey is a lot of whiskey to me. We have to remember the founding era. If you want to invoke the founding era to be a habitual drunkard, you had to double that. So in the founding era, they said 16 shots a day. That's every freaking day. I mean, if you do that every day, I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't bar you from owning guns, but I would say you probably got a bit of a problem there. He went on to note that John Adams, the second president of the greatest country in the history of the world, the United States, took a tankard of hard cider with his breakfast every day. Oof, man, beer for breakfast. I was just for breakfast. Who knows what he did the rest of the day, right? I wonder if it's like, I wonder if their hard cider was like when you get that stuff now, in the fall, you get that cider beer. I do like the taste of cider beer. I can't drink like a bunch of it, but I could definitely drink one or two. I do enjoy the taste of that. Gorsuch pointed out that James Madison, the author of the Second Amendment civil right that myself and all of my listeners are enjoying, reportedly drank a pint of whiskey every day. So a pint of whiskey, how many shots are in a pint? Right, a pint, 16 ounces. Well, a shot is 1 ounce, right? So shit, man, he was drinking 16 shots a day. I mean, maybe I'm mathing that wrong. He also pointed to Thomas Jefferson's alcohol consumption, and then asked Principal Deputy Solicitor General Sarah Harris, "Are they all habitual drunkards who would be properly disarmed for life under your theory?" Yeah, with Brian, let me get this comment here before we go on a little bit. Guys that drink that much wouldn't be able to hit shit without it. Yeah. So, uh, you know what they're angling like? Or you drink too much, you can't own guns. I mean, that's where this is going to freaking go if they don't knock this shit down. And people who don't drink, I guarantee you, or they barely drink, see this and they're like, Jesus Christ, yeah, we should have a law where people shouldn't be able to, who drink that much beer, shouldn't be able to own guns. I guarantee you they're freaking angling for this. A number of times Democrats have tried to make it to where if you got a DUI, you could no longer own firearms. Even in leftist states it didn't pass, which blows my mind. Thankfully it didn't. But yeah, I mean, I had a DUI in June 2003, and yep, you're responsible. I mean, I've even had crazy leftists look shit up on here and like, oh, I see you got a DUI, but you could have killed somebody. Yeah, you could have killed somebody with not drinking and driving. And I'm not promoting driving and drinking. I don't. That's not a good thing to do. But I'm just saying, this is what, if the Supreme Court doesn't knock this shit down, um, I think with marijuana, people owning guns, um, that's what's going to do. They're going to switch it over to booze and anything else is goody two shoes and the people who don't drink and whatever. And like I said, I'm drinking right now, so. Didn't you just have surgery? Yeah, I did. So kiss my ass. Doesn't bother me one bit here. I'm drinking this. I'm not going to sit here and drink 4 of these tonight, but I am enjoying one throughout the live stream here. Yeah, and the United States attorney here. This is where Pam Bondi should be stepping her ass in and saying, "Whoa, whoa, 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 what's going?" I don't know. If I had to guess, and you all know I'm a 100% ultra mega. I think Trump would probably be like, "Yeah, I don't know about drinking and owning guns, and especially if somebody drinks too much. Drinking too much is a relative term. I mean, when somebody drinks every day and gets bombed out of their mind, yeah. But I mean, there's so many people, and I mean, it's not like it was when I was growing up. But they'll have a night drink. My grandparents on my mom's side pretty much every night, mixed a whiskey and 7-Up or whatever, Coke, and had it before they went to bed. And I worked with people who lived on the East Coast, and Dwight's like, everybody out there freaking does that. Coors Light don't count as drinking. He has his 18 wheels and doesn't say, yeah, I'm off the hook, man. I'm basically drinking freaking water. So, I mean, they might get me on the rum here I'm having tonight, but man, a pint every day he had, of whiskey. I don't know if that's whatever. I mean, I don't know what alcohol back then, right? You could go blind from that shit. Like, when what do you call the guys that made him in the still? They still do, but back in 100 years ago, when they wouldn't make it right and people would drink it and get blind. I mean, obviously the founders had it figured out how to make it. And I don't think none of them went blind from drinking whiskey, and I know they didn't turn their freaking guns in. So, yeah, I certainly hope the Supreme Court rules in our favor on that. I mean, like I said, I could see if somebody's walking around completely bombed and they got their gun, and then law enforcement was around and like, hey, dude, we're gonna take this. You ain't gonna have it today or whatever. And I mean, for Christ's sake, Spamberger, the new governor in Virginia, this guy was let off on like 30 or 40 crimes, stabbed this girl to death, illegal alien. She won't turn the son of a bitch over to ICE there. I mean, Democrats will do that, but they'll let them people off the hook. But by God, if they think you're drinking too much and you own firearms, you need to get your rights fucking usurped. That's how freaking crazy shit is. I mean, and I said that about Trump. I hope the reason I said about Trump, because Trump doesn't drink. Trump's never drank. Trump's not a drinking man. I don't think pardon me. I don't think his family is, which is fine. I have no problem against people not drinking, but don't try and like it's right there, they're trying to lump it in with goddamn cigarette smoking, like the mayor there in Michigan, right? Yeah, it's more harm than good. And I'm not saying rolling around blasted and drinking and carrying your gun is a safe deal to do. It's probably not, but I don't know. I've never seen the stats on it. I mean, usually when you're drinking, I don't know. I guess I don't really know any people who really freaking carry their guns around when they're drinking anyway. So anyway, we'll see how that Supreme Court case rules. If it doesn't, expect them to immediately switch that over to people who drink booze too. So Lance Peterson is all about mental illness. Hey, 100%. 100, I wouldn't say 100, but I mean a high percentage of it is mental illness. And, you know, Democrats in particular, and I'm not saying there's not some Republican, but Democrats just they have a dangerous lack of common sense and they don't live in reality. They're unhinged. Owning guns, look what they always do. Look what they always trying to do with guns, right? Shoot somebody. I mean, they're shooting people up all the time now. They always said we were going to do it, but it's them doing it who has the guns. But anyway, getting off track a little. Let's hope Gorsuch sways these people in the Justice Department. Even Harmeet Dillon. I mean, I know she's the assistant attorney there, but and the guy under Bondi too. I can't think of his name. But I mean, I remember whatever it was versus DC there back in George Bush. Even his solicitor general came out but I mean, that wasn't had nothing to do with. See, when they mix in the marijuana or the booze, that's when George Bush quit drinking, but at least he had his Department of Justice get out and the lobby's not the word, but be in favor in the Supreme Court, which they did when Paul something, I think was the attorney's name, and won that for getting rid of DC's gun laws. I mean, Bondi should do that if she wants people to keep thinking she's really pro. I mean, I didn't think she was. I think she's kind of indifferent about it, like Trump actually. But I mean, you know what the people want. You're surrounded by people who are pro Second Amendment. I know you're getting people talking in your ear about it. So, I mean, Don Trump Jr. out of it, whatever. Trump's kids are interfering in a Supreme Court case. Anyway, yeah. All right, we're gonna get happy ending hootenanny coming up here. Rapid City, South Dakota. Fun town. Been there a few times. Nice town too. I like Rapid City. A lot of stuff to do around there. Black Hills, beautiful place to be. Rapid City, South Dakota resident awoke to noises shortly. Hey, we're gonna work some booze right into this. We're talking about booze, and we're gonna work you right into the happy ending hootenanny. A resident awoke to noises shortly before 3:30 a.m. and shot an alleged intruder who was attempting to make entry through a window. I hate how these stories got to do this alleged, but whatever. I'm going to read it their way. Was attempting to make entry through a window. News Center 1 noted officers arrived and found the alleged intruder suffering from a single gunshot wound. His wound was serious but not life-threatening. Police spoke with the resident of the home and later determined the injured man was intoxicated and had mistaken the residence for the home of an acquaintance who lived next door. KOTA TV, which I regularly see these KOTA on Facebook, on social media. Seems like a liberal outlet. I mean, it doesn't seem like it is. But they reported that the criminal charges against the alleged intruder are pending, but the homeowner faces no charges for acting in self-defense. So I've actually known people who go to the wrong house, and I never understood that. I mean, I have been bombed out of my mind and been dropped off in neighborhoods when I was young. I never got lost. I never went to the wrong house and knocked on the freaking door. And furthermore, if you do that and get shot, I don't have any pity for you. You shouldn't. The guy was in there sleeping at 3:30. You're banging on the door. I don't know if he thought he was going to some chick's house, was going to get a piece of ass or whatever, but he got a piece of something. It wasn't what he was looking for. But I have never went to the wrong freaking. I mean, I've never even slightly mistakenly wrong place. So you don't want to get shot. Don't get drunk and go trying and crawling in people's freaking windows at 3:30 in the morning. Be better than that, dude. Even if you're drinking. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Happy ending hootenanny. He didn't get in there and then maybe get in a fight with the guy who owns the house there and get mad and choke him out or beat his ass in or something. too bad for him. Leon Francis gives me the laughing with tears in the eyes emoji. Oh yeah, that's so that's about all I got for tonight, guys. I didn't guys and gals. I on purpose did not make the show longer than I didn't know I was going to feel and go through it. I can tell you my belly button, it's hurting a little bit. Like I told you guys, I got off the med. It is getting bruised too. Man, it's going to get, it's bruised and swelled up. Look like I got a little robin's belly down there protruding, but you got to do what you got to do to get better, man. Peace is something. Josh Patterson says he got the laughing. Yeah, he thought I mean, that's what was going on there, right? He thought he was just, yeah, I met this chick and I was texting with her, and yeah, it's like I said, sorry, not sorry, dude. Not sorry at all for you. Oh, anyway, if you guys got anything else you want to hit on, we can do it. We've been going. What are we in here? 46 minutes. I mean, I'm cool doing a short show too, because I'm going tomorrow. I'm heading back to work, back to the grind. Not that my job's a big grind, but yeah, Josh Patterson, hit that like and share, folks. Yeah, hit that like button. I 100 appreciate that. If anything, man, if you don't hit the Venmo, hit that like button. If you're feeling extra generous, even if you don't, hey, if you don't want to share it, tell your friends about it. I mean, I'm not even saying you got to watch the live stream. I definitely appreciate if you do, but we got a lot of good videos, man. A lot of good videos we're getting put out now, and actually, I've been pretty happy with the viewing on it. Last week Facebook kind of butt around me there on my viewership because they cut the stream off. Claimed, I remember Josh, I think, said that they just sniped me when we were talking about the pistol challenge we're gonna have coming up. But yeah, they put it back up. But I mean, the damage is already freaking done. So I mean, it still got an okay amount of views, but whatever. Hit that like button, kick that algorithm's ass. Do it on whatever platform you're doing. Like I said, and tell your friends about it. I'd appreciate that. I still haven't got any gear. I was gonna do it today, but I didn't. I'm not gonna do a whole bunch of it. I do basically for me, and if somebody wants it, kind of. I know Brian, Mama Joe wanted a 701. I'm gonna get it going. Yet, don't worry. I'm gonna get it. I mean, not that you're worried about it, but I'm gonna get some 701 Nation. I still got this one, right, with the guns and 701 in the middle. There's pimping both of them out. But yeah, I'm gonna get something made up. I got some other ideas for some 250 year, America's birthday this year, man. I was thinking about some can koozies or something. You guys are interested in those? I'll get them made up. I got some designs. I'm gonna run it by my man Ty over there at HH Apparel and see what he says. But yeah, that's we're gonna do that gun test this weekend with Axe. Hopefully the weather holds up and we get it done. We're gonna see if water and ordnance gel stop that bullet about the same distance. It'd be fun to do. Just getting out and shooting some guns. And I am going to proof test. At the beginning of the show, I was telling you about them S&B 55 grain soft points. I'm going to proof test them for accuracy. I'm going to try them out in my daughter's got some. Both of them have Ruger Ranch 223s. I'm going to try them out in there and see if they work in there too. The rounds I shoot out of those are accurate, but what I do like about them S&B is that velocity was nice. And I did see the bullet. I'm pretty sure it's a flat base, but man, on the 16-incher, if you're getting over 3,000, that's real good velocity. I do like that. Get me a price on a T-shirt, maybe. Yeah, will do, Josh. Will do, man. Like I said, I haven't been over and talked to Ty in a while. I've been busy, and had this surgery, and I suppose I could have went over there today. I went and visited Axe, but you get out and about, and you start getting a little sore, and you got to get back to the nest. You know what I mean? Yeah, I haven't bought another can yet. Like I said, I'm waiting for those Lyman. I did see a story on 22. People are buying it. A lot more people must be shooting 22s, and the 22 cans are the sale on those. I guess they're going pretty good. And I definitely want to buy that Lyman Sonic Core. That's what it was. I would say Sonic Core, but it's Sonic Core. Get some of that. I'd like to get another 22 Stoli hand cannon and get one on there. They are fun to shoot when they're that quiet, and at the price they're coming out at now, because I promise you guys, the Republicans don't win the midterm in 2028, don't go our way with the president, they're going to try and reverse everything they did. I mean, and not only will they reverse it, they'll jack the price up. Like we had that story about, I think it was Virginia. They wanted you to pay like $4,000 in another state, something ridiculous. We're gonna adjust that for inflation for you freaking gun nuts buying these freaking cans. Hitman accessory, poaching. I wonder if poaching's actually went up since suppressors have gotten. I gotta get a hold of Jeb. Maybe I'll tell you what. Next week, maybe for next week, I'll try and get a hold of Jeb and come on, talk some deer numbers. I know Scott and I were talking about on Saturday the CWD they found, and yeah, I mean, you're never going to get me to buy into that, but whatever. I mean, I'm not going to have Jeb on if he comes on to argue with him about it. I just want some info from him, and I do get along good with Jeb, so we'll see if he wants to come on. And I would be curious to know if the poaching has went up since suppressor ownership has. And thermals. Thermals are, you can find deer pretty easy with a thermal. And Justin Latinsky. One thing that I like about S&B is that they make ammo for obsolete or forgotten rifles. Make 22 Savage high power and 222 Remington. It's reasonably priced. Yeah, right on, Justin. 222. I know I've used Pervy Partisan for my 222 as well. Shot real good out of there. 222 or 22 Savage high power. I've never even heard of that. Is that a rim fire or is that a center fire? No idea, but yeah, it is reasonably priced, and if it does shoot good, Axon, they claim their bullet uh, construction that it holds together pretty good. So I can tell you, Axe and I will be testing that in some gel. If it still shoots, I mean, we will, even if it shoots like shit, we'll find something that it shoots good. And like I said, I got it shooting good out of the old Bloodline Kinetic 701. Go watch the video on YouTube or Facebook. I got it on both of my pages, or you can check. I got it on Rumble too. I got it, and I never get any more subs on Rumble. People just don't go on Rumble. I wish they would, but I have been getting more I have been on my videos lately. I don't go live there. I tried. Maybe I'll have to ask Clay why. I don't know if they want you to pay, or I mean, I put it in there and it won't go live there. It just doesn't get the play there. But that's another thing too. As the midterms and presidency don't go our way, I mean, they're going to be. I mean, the Dems are already saying it's just going to be a revenge thing for Trump and the Republicans trying to straighten shit out. They'll be coming hard for us again and blanking you on, shutting you down on social media. I mean, I got it last week for something stupid. At least they turned it around. But Justin says the 22 Savage high power is a 25-35 Winchester neck down to 227. All right, nice. That thing's got to be smoking out of there. Yeah, and I think S&B is made in Czechoslovakia. I thought it was French. It's like that, oui, but it's not. Apparently, it's made in Czechoslovakia. Pervy Partisan, that's made in like Yugoslavia or something. But yeah, Pervy shoots. Pervy's, that's cheap ammo too. But it shoots it. Pervy's, I don't know if they still got it. It's like the white box or the blue box with like the white lettering, almost like a military stencil kind of numbers and letters on there. But yeah, man, out of my 222, that was the best ammo I shot. I shot Federal and Hornady and whatever out of there. And man, I shot great out of there. So I've never tried the 223 Pervy, but Hornady, I mean, Hornady's red box soft point is right on. It's right on par with them for price, really, I think. But as far as velocity, whatever powder S&B uses, that shit is smoking out of there. I know PMC Bronze, I seen make some soft point. I'd like to try that because their velocity is way up there too. Luke Sabat says if they're worried about poaching, the tax stamp will be in spotlights next. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it probably is. Anyways, like I said, I'd like to get Jeb on and talk to him. I got a good rapport with Jeb, and I mean, I won't freaking go after him with some gotcha bullshit. He knows that we've talked about it. He was going to come on with me and Scott that time I did it, but he said, let me know didn't know he had a meeting up in Powers Lake or something. And he did. I looked, there was a meeting up there. And so whatever, I think it'd be fun. Cause I think they did are they doing their flyovers or did they do them already? I think they did, but, saw some decent mule deer numbers out at our place. Man, the porcupines on our trees have just, man, they went to work. My dad and I were driving around, and they have been absolutely crushing the bark on our trees. So, I mean, I thought we did see one. Actually, my dad saw it, and the time I got out and got my gun, he was down in the trees, and I went down there and was trying to flush them out. But I don't know if you ever went after a porcupine when they get down and they got holes or something. It's amazing to me how good a porcupine can hide from you down there. Josh says, "My 22 250 gets good groups with PPU. It's that pervy partisan. They are the only ones I found for my 6.5 Carcana. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, and that's another one. Like Josh is like, they do make like them odder calibers over there, but and of course the 22 250, which I did watch a thing like one of the guns that's kind of going away. Not that it was bad, but 22 250 is. I mean, it does seem to me like that is fading out, man. When I was a teenager and in my 20s and 30s, man, the 22 250 was all out, and the 204 that came. I mean, that kind of phased out too, and there's just so many, like a 22 Creed now. I think that's even faster than the 22 250. And yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're going to ever go away, but they're definitely getting phased out by these new the bullets. The longer bullets and the higher BCs. But I mean, the 22 250 for yotes out to 500 is my dad shot so many freaking coyotes with his 22 250. But I'll be honest with you, once he got his 6.5 Creed, man, he never shot his 22 250. I don't think he shot that in freaking years. He's all about that 6.5 Creed. And he had the 25-06, 30-06, 7mm Rem mag and all kinds of shit. But bar none, that 6.5 Creed is, and everybody can call it whatever they want. I love my Creed too. I love that Creed. It's just a great cartridge, even with them 95 grainers. I think that if I was a big predator hunter, I would probably use that over my AR or my my predator, because that is so fast, and that's a big 95 grain VMAX hammer time, and it shoots good. I mean, I got a cheap rifle at Winchester, shoots great. The only bad part about that is a 3 or 4 round mag. And there's no other bottom metal I can find for it. So, I mean, that's strictly going to be my deer hunting rifle. Wow, what the hell you need more for coyote hunting for? I don't know. I don't really, but I like to have more on. We did see a couple of coyotes too, but when I did that short, I saw 2 of them there. I was following their trail down the creek in the fresh snow, and they popped up way out there, and I was videoing it, talking to myself, and then they popped up because some people are, how come you didn't shoot? Well, by the time I ran back up the hill to my side-by-side and pulled my gun off and ranged them, they would have been 500 plus yards. And honestly, if you hunt coyotes and they're on the move like that, you're probably not going to hit them. You're just going to make them more wise to the next guy hunting them. So I just let them go. The boys' Creedmoor is the most accurate we got here. Yeah, I mean, most people I know their Creed is definitely their most accurate. And I mean, I don't want that PRC, because that goes like 200 feet per second faster. Does it make it less accurate when it goes faster? I'd be interested in people who have those. I only know 2 people that have a 6.5 PRC, and man, they got nothing but good things to say about it. And I mean, I shot one, and it was just stacking them in there real nice. I don't remember how far we were shooting. It's like 600 yards. But I mean, the recoil was a little more than the Creed, but not much at all. So anyway, back next week. I'm going back to Tuesdays. I'll be back Tuesday. I'm not sure how long Clay is going with. One more thing I'll tell you. Let's talk about Texas a little bit. They had their their party elections down there. This James Tallarico beat Gisman, crock of shit. And of course, it was a Republican's fault. And this Tallarico, he's a slick talking. He comes out and acts like he's a big man of Jesus and all this. But then, I mean, if you see the tape on the guy saying Jesus was non-binary and he's a big gun control freak, but he makes himself sound middle of the road and slick shit. But I mean, I hope he gets his ass buried. And Cornyn and Ken Paxton, they got to go to the vote off there. I think the people down ballot who took away like 15 more, and it was close. I mean, I think Paxton was in with like a point of Cornyn. Would I vote for Cornyn over Democrat? Yeah, but Cornyn is like really like the epitome of a rhino. I mean, he's better than the Democrat, but he sucks bad. But anyways, down ballot, there's more conservatives, like 13 or 15 more points. And when they go head to head, I think Ken Paxton's going to beat him. There's rumors that Trump was going to endorse Cornyn. Maybe. I hope he doesn't. Paxton's got some more baggage in there. I think he monkeyed around on his wife and he got impeached, not out of office, but for something. But I mean, he's definitely more of a conservative and an inline guy who I would like. Statewide, I don't know. The Democrats always think they're going to get Texas back, and an election comes around, they get kicked square in the freaking beans, which I love it, and I hope it happens again. Yeah, and there's a couple other races I was looking at, but should be fun. I'm not real worried about Texas, but I don't want to see Trump endorse Cornyn because there's already a speckling of those people on our side. I mean, I don't know. I call them fake MAGA because if you're off Trump's wagon, I don't know that you were really ever on it. I think you're fake MAGA, and he says one thing that butt hurts you, so you're off the train. Then he's starting continuous endless wars. And by the way, did you see that freaking Iranian Navy ship, that destroyer or whatever today, that cruiser, get hit by that torpedo from one of our subs? That was freaking badass. That just absolutely freaking particled the back of that ship. I don't know how fast it went down, but it had to have been fast because when that torpedo hit, I didn't even know we had torpedoes yet, to be honest with you. I saw that, but it kind of, like Adam Sandler would say, it blew my mind. Justin Latinsky said, did Brandon Herrera whip Gonzalez? I don't know. Justin, they're still doing, I think they were doing it's hard to tell because sometimes it sounds like they're doing it now and other times they're doing it later. I would say with Brandon and Gonzalez, it's kind of the same thing with Paxton and Cornyn. Down ballot, Brandon Herrera is definitely more of a conservative than Tony. I think it's Tony Gonzalez, or am I thinking of the tight end? Anyway, down ballot, they sucked up of I think 15 more points. And when it's down to them two, most of them guys are going to be conservative and go with Brandon. I mean, that Brandon Herrera seems like he's a freaking super normal dude and straight up. And Gonzalez, another guy, he was monkeying around on his wife, and this gal lit herself on fire and committed suicide. And, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Axe says neither one got over 50%, so they're going to have a runoff. Yeah. I mean, is that runoff now? Because, I mean, Dave sent me a link and it looked like they were doing it now for that House race. And then the Senate one looks like it's not going to happen until later. So I mean, just give it up with the runoffs. And, well, I mean, it's going to probably work out in our benefit on this one, but I don't know. Whatever. It's weird to me why you'd want to do that. Because you just get a bunch of other people and the more people in there, the better, JD. Not in my opinion. Get you two guys you want to have represent your party. And what if I'm an independent? Well, that's your problem. Go over there with the libertarians and see how far they fucking get you. They're not going to get you anywhere. But we can bitch about Trump and the Democrats because we got the fucking high ground. We're not in any party. Nah, you just don't fucking stand. And I got libertarian friends. You guys ain't gonna win shit. Just take it and take the pain and vote for a Republican. You're gonna get most of what you want. I mean, when has there ever been a libertarian who's a governor? With Jesse Ventura, how'd that freaking space cadet dipshit work out? He was in the SEAL. I don't give a shit what he was. That guy's a fucking head case now. He probably was a good dude back in the day, and I mean, he had some shit I like, but and then we had the dipshit today storming Senate committee hearing or whatever there. I don't know if the guy was an actual Marine, got his freaking elbow dislocated when Senator Sheehy from Montana went over there with the police. He was, Sheehy was a former SEAL. Speaking of SEALs, you can hear the guy's arm snap and just goes down there. And they said it was his hand, and some other short little tub of shit was over there bitching at Sheehy, and Sheehy told him the GFY. I wish he'd have turned around and just rocked his ass too. He was a mouthy freaking leftist. He broke a Marine's hand, the senator broke. So shit's going freaking. The Democrats are completely unhinged over Trump, and the fake mega fuckers are, and the rhinos, and like I was just talking about them, the libertarians, they're going, they can't handle it either. if Trump loses the House and Senate in the midterms, that's on you guys. Then you're really gonna have something to bitch about. I know I bitch about this every show, but I really can't fucking stand it when people, I'll just stay home and not vote. It don't matter, or this other bullshit. It does fucking matter. Get your head out of your ass. Justin says, I think Brandon and Tony should sell it like Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr. That's right. That's right, baby. 10 paces, is that what they took? And 10 paces, modern firearms now, both of them might get hit. I think Brandon Herrera would probably be more than happy. But if that came up, I'll bet you he would do it, because man's around firearms constantly. Gonzalez, nah. I mean, he's even supported like anti-gun shit, just like Cornyn. I mean, he's, they say like a lot of these committees in Texas, like Texas, the Republicans own the governor, the House, and the Senate. Not like they do here, but pretty good margins. But I heard tonight, I was watching, I can't remember what his YouTube thing, gun guy, but apparently they're like the Republicans put Democrats in charge of like these committees and shit like that. I would never fucking do that. I can't stand the Republicans do it. Oh, let's just be the better people and put them in charge of these committees. No. Freaking stomp on their nose with the goddamn hobnail boot when you got power, because they do it to us. And that's one of the reasons they hate fucking Trump, is because he does it back to them, but he does it even harder than they do it. And they can't fucking stand that. And I love it, because it's about, somebody bitch slaps you. What are you going to do? Sit there and let them slap you and not do it back? No, you're going to finally get pissed and fucking slap them back, man. You got to do that shit. And Trump does it. And when he does, he comes with the fucking heavies, man. He whap. Nails them. I love it. That wasn't a very good slap, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know that I've ever slapped any. I don't think I've ever slapped. I've punched a lot of people, but I've never slapped anybody. But anyway, before we get too far off topic here, hour and 7 in. I'll be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central. Tomorrow. I'm gonna try and get in contact with Jeb, see if he wants to come on, and if he does, I'll be more than happy. Jeb will see the. He'll see the comments, but if anybody gets too vulgar with him, I mean, I'm not gonna read that comment to him, or if he sees it, whatever. I mean, I know if he comes on, he wants to talk deer numbers. He said that to me, so we're not gonna talk CW, deer, EHD, or antelope season, or any of this other stuff we usually talk about. I'm curious to know his deer numbers. So if he comes on, if I can get him on, great. If not, I don't know. You guys think just keep doing it solo, or you like it when guests come on, or should I kind of mix it up? I don't know. I'm such a windy fucker. I just like to talk myself, but I mean, I know it gets old listening to me bullshitting too. I do have a few people I'd like to have on to talk about. I know a knife guy. I still got his number from Mama Joe Warner. I need to get a hold of, because I am interested in talking to somebody about building knives and the kind of steel you use and stuff like that. I got way more knives than I use. I mean, I got more guns than I use too, but I actually shoot mine. I got just drawers full of knives, but I would like to get a custom made knife at some point. I don't know if any of you guys got any custom built knives. I do not. Like I said, I would love to. Josh Patterson says, great show, Jay. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it, brother. Really, really do, man. Josh is out shooting man, it looked like little prairie dogs in his yard. But I thought were they 13 liners, or were they prairie dogs, or flicker tails? What'd you have going there, Josh? That one looked pretty big in the hole. Your dog was down there. Looked like they had some holes going in his yard though. And a couple people sent me some 13 liners were out. So I think in a couple weeks, might have to go up to the farm there with my daughters, and they're in their 223s and the 22s, and because last year there was a lot at our place, because as soon as the grass starts growing, they're home free. You see them on the road and they run in, but we got to get them now. And there's if there's like there was last year, there's a freaking ton of them. I think I said that before. I shot more 13 liners and shit out at our place in the spring than I ever remembered, really. And one of them there, he was too close, just leaving. I just brought my mule up and washed it, and I was going back, and 10 feet away, I got him with the 220 ground squirrels. All right, there you go. Yep, 13 liners. Okay. Yeah, and I splattered all over my freshly cleaned. Oh, good for you. You killed that poor little guy. Yeah. My dad and I had a good laugh about it, but yeah. I always look forward to doing that. 22, 223, and that's a 223 is great, man. You go from ground squirrels all the way up to freaking big mule deer, baby. All right, guys and gals. Appreciate everybody clicking in tonight. Had fun doing the show. Made it through. Stomach's getting a little sore. Even when you talk, when your gut tightens up, like I said, it's freaking bruised, man. It looks like Tyson fucking gave me a couple right in the old freaking gizzard there. It's a little sore. They're a little smaller than prairie dogs, Josh says. We got a place to the east of Bismarck. We go shoot them with rifles. Awesome. And they are out that way too. Okay, they aren't 13-liners. They're bigger. Yeah, that's what I thought. They look, because I didn't see any stripes on it. Like I said, that's why it looked to me like I don't know, I always call them flicker tails, I think, instead of prairie dogs or sand gophers. I think we always called them when I grew up in Acres of Plenty for a number of years out by Lincoln there. So I don't know what it's called now, Lincoln Meadows or something, but there were sand hills. Yeah, we always called them sand gophers out there. Usually got them with the 22 or the 10 pump. But yeah, all right, guys and gals, let you go. Again, hit that like button if you can. Feeling kind and generous in your heart, hit that Venmo up there, support the show. That's how I keep this thing going. And one-time contributions, great. And if you get on that monthly subscription on it, there's an option for it in there. Ultra mega is what you are. All right, thanks again. We're going to take it out here. I'm going to change this song one of these times. I know Todd said send him the song in here, but this ain't the. If you're wondering too, when I play this song at the beginning of the end of the stream, it is actually like a 2-minute and 40-second song, but I cut it down on here. But a little AI2A with a little Second Amendment fire. We'll see you guys next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, episode 7, 701 Nation. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Have a great weekend. JD, hey, we'll get a video coming up to you soon. So have a good one. See you next week.
Born with the right, etched in stone. Second Amendment, we stand alone. Guns in our hands, freedom's call. Hunt the wild, never take the fall. Fire, lock and load, let them roar. Shoot 'em straight, Second Amendment score. Buckshot flying, deers in sight. Rock the range on the night. Trail through the woods, rifle raised high. One clean shot, watch the trophy fly. Targets down.